DT, wow, what a crazy game. The first half, well, up until when David Luiz gets sent off, I thought Arsenal was playing some great football. I thought we could have been more than one goal up. We were looking fairly comfortable. Then comes the big incident.
Corruption.
Right. Sorry?
Corruption. That's the big incident. Corruption. Inadequate, corrupt referees. I'm not one that goes on about referees all the time. I know it's a difficult job. I know that certain things happen in games. But how on earth are you sending off David Luiz when he does not make any attempt to make a tackle? And then Peter Walton, the dinosaur, is in the BT studio saying, wipe him out and you'll get a yellow. Hold on a minute. You wipe him out, you get a yellow, you stand there and let him go, and you get a red. Explain to me. Explain. Somebody with half a brain, explain to me. I've said multiple times to you, Robbie, that VAR and things like that ain't the problem. It's the incompetent wankers that are fucking using it. Dinosaurs, all of them. Did you see who was in the VAR studio? Go and have a look to see who was dealing with that, and then you'll realise why as well. Explain to me why the referee was not told by VAR, you know what, I think it's a red, but you go and have a look for yourself. You go over, you look at that screen, and you say definitively on your own head whether that is a red card. And if you can go over there and tell me that that's a red card, then I'm sorry, you're a cheat, you're corrupt. Go check his bank balance. Go check and find out exactly what he's all about. I'm telling you, this is the same guy that was officiating us at Anfield, and he never sent off Sadio Mane in the first 3 minutes for elbowing Kieran Tierney. And you wonder why some people question. You wonder why Ty gets pissed off all the time with all this refereeing. Yes, sometimes he could be exaggerated and, you know, go over the top or whatever. This one, I hope he rips him to pieces, because that referee has cost us the game. 44 minutes of that game, complete dominance. The only criticism I had going into halftime is that it weren't more than 1-0. Should have been 3 or 4. Game should have been over. Should have been having a cup of tea. Should have been comfy, lovely jubbly. No worries at all. And then the first question is that we kick it out from a goal kick. The ball's in the middle of the park. The referee is visibly putting the whistle to his mouth. The 2 minutes of injury time is up. And it drops to a Wolves player and he lets it carry on. The commentator even turned around and said the referee had the whistle in his mouth about to blow and then allowed the play to... Why? What? Explain. It's like the Liverpool game against Manchester United the other week when the game was stopped too early on half-time. Why are referees not accountable for their mistakes and their decisions they make? Burn Leno, we can get onto that. That's a straight red card. You can't deny that. It's silly. But what I'm saying is Burn Leno now has to face the consequences of that, and he's going to be facing a ban. David Luiz has now got to face a ban. After the game, Mikel Arteta will have to come out and try and explain things. If he talks about the referee, he'll get banned and he'll get fined or anything. Why is the referee not accountable for their mistakes and their decisions within the game? Why are you not allowed to bring a referee after a game in front of the reporters on the TV and sit there and say, this was your decision you made before halftime? Can you explain your reasoning for that? And there's a TV screen, multiple replays, explain to the public why you've made that decision. Because what the referee will do now, he will go home and this weekend he'll officiate another Premier League game. How? Inadequacies.
Even before that, he made some questionable decisions. There was one time when I think the ball went out for a corner and he gave it as a throw.
And that was in our favour.
I know, and I was like, "What? I was going, is he blind?" I'm like, "What's going on?"
The thing is, Robbie, I'm watching on the telly with a completely different angle, and I can see it's a corner. And he's coming over and he's looking at the Wolves players like turning his nose up at them, looking at them like, "What? Like, I've seen it, you ain't. Everyone's seen it. It's a corner." But you... I mean,
I'm getting very confused as to rules now. I don't know what a handball is no more. And on that rule, I don't know. That was so confusing to me because First of all, I'm not even too sure. There's very minimal contact, isn't there?
Robbie,
Very.
David Luiz does not make any contact with the guy. The guy's running. David Luiz has let him go. As his leg lifts into the air, his studs brush David Luiz's knee.
His knee. That's what I thought.
Brush, right? David Luiz has not instigated it. He's not done anything in any way, shape, or form. The player's on the wrong side of him. He's let him go. He's let him go.
Which is something in the past. Sorry a second. That's something in the past we've had a go at David Luiz for.
Right.
I remember me and you even having a bit of a tear up over it because there was the game, I think it was against
Chelsea,
when I was like, just let him go. This time, he has let him go and he's still got sent off.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually think that the referees are going by David Luiz's persona of
His
clumsy, makes it. It's like Wilfried Zaha, for example. He's got a reputation of diving. So when he does get fouled, the rest go play on. I think the same thing applies. They think, oh, he's a bit of a clown. Probably has touched him. Yeah, all right. Explain to me why you've not gone over to the VAR screen. When VAR was first introduced, the one thing that everybody used to sit and moan about was that referees never had the power to go and watch the screen. So somebody was always making the final decision for them. They couldn't look with their own eyes whether they had made the right call or whether they had made the wrong call. That was then introduced so that the referees will get the final definitive answer on it. Because then there's no grey area. There's no... Because the referee might have gone in at half-time, looked at it, and turned around and went, you know what, if I would have seen that, I wouldn't have actually sent him off. I would have gave a yellow. Or, do you know what I mean? But you never gave him that opportunity because he's going by what you're telling him. As a whole, incompetent corruption. That's what they are, right back to the 49 games unbeaten. And people can sit there and say to me, what's he on about? Look how long ago that was. The reason why I say that is because the referee on that day, Mike Riley, is now the one that manages these referees. How do you expect to be able to do your job when you've got the biggest corrupt, official in history of the Premier League running things for you? I'm sorry, it's absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish for 44 minutes. No, you know what? 44 minutes. Forget 44 minutes. For 47 minutes, we dominated the first half. One team in it. Second half, it was always going to be backs on the wall. That little hobbit hasn't scored in 15 months and he decides tonight's the night he's going to hit a fucking rocket.
There's nothing you can do about that goal. And I guess, you know, the only positive you can take from the game is that even down to 9 men, we haven't totally capitulated, but it is a big blow, you know what I mean? And then now coming up to the game, what it is, he said that's the game's a setback, but even the knock-on effects now going into that Villa game, no Bern Leno, right? And Matt Ryan's still out, and no Luiz, you know what I mean? Yep. Both going to be missing for a game, you know what I mean? And, you know,
You look at the players' reactions after the game, they were gutted. And I think there was anger in there as well. And we had that real late chance where Bellerin cut it back and we might have got something from it. But the knock-on effect, like you were saying, is huge because if Matt Ryan isn't going to get himself fit this week, yeah, then I would rather an outfield player playing goal against Aston Villa.
He did make 2 good saves, Runnison, though, when he come on.
Did you see what he did after that?
Yeah, yeah. But he did, and I'll tell you what, his delivery for that free kick at the end, we were saying he should be taking corners.
Mate, he didn't even know what to do. He was looking at the bench going, what? There was like, am I taking this? What?
That summed up the inexperience of him, you know what I mean? But
very inexperienced.
He did make 2 good saves in the game. He could be the guy in there. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a setback, DT. Do we just look on it now and just say setback? We go again.
Have to. You can't blame anybody. You can't blame anyone for that. If you're blaming the manager today, go and have a look at the fucking mirror. Seriously, because that's when you know someone's got an agenda. If you blame the manager at all today for that defeat. All right, because for the first 47 minutes, like I said, that was superb football. The passing, the movement, the dominance, everything was exactly what we want from a team. The only thing was that it weren't more than one. That was the only thing that we could be critical over. So it wasn't that. You saw when Leno got sent off, yeah? Mikel Arteta was just sitting there like, what? Like, what's he meant to do? Like, Bernd Leno has been exceptional this season, but he had one lapse of concentration where it's a reaction. The ball's going to go past you. You use your hand, didn't you?
I've seen Manuel Neuer do one of those before as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
but this is what I'm trying to say to you, Robbie. At the end of the day, how can Mikel be blamed for that? You can't. Even he's sitting there like, fucking hell, man. I've seen some people trying to use but why did you play David Luiz? He's always got that mistake within him.
He was the man of the match in the last game.
Yeah, and we've had the second best defence in the Premier League. This is what I talk about agendas. Because if you're real to yourself, yeah, you will hold your hands up and say, you know what, I can't blame the manager tonight for that. I can't say anything. It was a strong starting 11. The way we played in the first half was great, but contributing factors are the reason why we lost that game. And that main contributing factor was Craig Pawson. Fucking corrupt, useless referee.
Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial, and you can start earning some real cash.